So you're thinking about moving to Tucson, Arizona. Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about Marana, Arizona today. I'm going to tell you all the ins and outs of Marana, what it's like here. There's a lot of different farmlands and ranches out in the distance. Or out on the outskirts of town. I'm here at one now, but I'm going to talk all about Marana and tell you more about it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know all about Tucson, Arizona, then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about everything Tucson. Today we're talking about Marana. I'm going to tell you everything about Marana. It's located on the east and west side of the I-10 freeway. It's about 121 square miles, which is a pretty good size. So it's a large community. On the outskirts of town, there's lots of farms and ranches, but inside it's very busy, all the normal shopping, everything that you would want in a town, good schools, nice area. So I'm going to tell you all about Marana today. The summers, they average from 95 to about 105 degrees. And in the wintertime, they're about 60 to 70 degrees for their high. So we have really great winters. The summers are kind of hot, but for the most part, it's a dry heat. There are monsoon season here. It's starting usually, I say, in July. And that's where the summer rains come. It'll be hot all day and sunny. And then at night, these desert rains come in. It's a warm rain and it's pretty neat. So that's part of Tucson that I enjoy. You get a lightning show and all these clouds. And then the next morning you wake up and it's dry and nice. Today I'm going to show you a couple of interesting places. I'm going to take you to a restaurant called Nana's Cafe. It's a really good little Mexican restaurant. I had never been there before, so we're going to try that out. If you stick around to the end, I'm going to take you to the JW Marriott. Now that is not in Marana, but it is in Tucson. It's a beautiful resort, and during the summertime you can buy a day pass and hang out. They have 2 different swimming pools and a lazy river. It's a great way to spend the day with friends on a hot day, or if you have kids, it's a great thing to buy a day pass. I think the day passes are about $55 and you can go enjoy their swimming pools, water slides, lazy river, all that stuff. So we'll take you by there. I'm also going to take you by an area called the Rio Preserve, and it's a really neat little nature area, great for bird watching, hiking. You don't fish really in there. It's a natural preserved land and it's reclaimed water, so you don't want to be fishing in there, but it is really pretty. There's ducks, there's all sorts of birds, there's walking trails, there's the part of the loop goes by there, so that's a really great part of Marana that I want to show you as well. We're going to show you some different neighborhoods: Continental Ranch, Continental Reserve, Gladden Farms, lots of other areas. I'm going to show you and point those out on a map so you can get a feel just what this area is like. Also, I'm going to show you, point out Dove Mountain so you can get a feel for that. There's lots of great areas, let you know where the shopping is, how long it takes to get places. We're going to cover all that right now. So here we are, we're at the Rio Preserve, and this is kind of some reclaimed water that's also just a natural preserved area in the sense it's for bird watching. There's trails that go around it. Part of the loop, our biking loop, goes around this. Tucson, for those of you that don't know, have a 137-mile loop that you can bike around Tucson that's all paved, and part of it goes past this Rio Preserve. The preserve restores and protects 104 acres here, both for lizards, snakes, all sorts of wildlife, and also for the birds. Marana Park and Recreation, they have bird tours that go on here in August. They bring a big group by that can check out all the different birds. There's ducks back there I was watching earlier. There's all sorts of biking and there's some hiking trails around here too. Okay, here we are. We're walking along part of the bike loop that's right next to this reserve pond or lake, whatever you want to call it, but it's right next to it. We're really close to the Continental Ranch neighborhood as well, so it's just tucked right up in here, kind of a little hidden spot, great place to hike or get some exercise or ride a bike. So I wanted to mention a few of the big neighborhoods in Marana. Marana is a really great place. There's a lot of sense of community in Marana and they have a lot going on for them. So I'm going to go over some of these neighborhoods and also some of the things that Marana has going on. Marana is located northwest of Tucson. So we call it Northwest Tucson, but it's actually located northwest of Tucson and it's a town of its own. There's about 63,000 people that live in Marana. There's a large sense of community and it's an area that's really growing fast. It's one of the fastest growing areas in all of Tucson. Marana has their own pumpkin patch, which is really nice. In October, everybody comes there. Even if you're not from Marana, everyone comes from all over Tucson, and that's the pumpkin patch they like to go to. They have not only pumpkins, but all sorts of rides and fun things for the kids and games and music. It's a really great place to take the kids. They have a little train, and they have some water out there, and they have entertainment. It's really worth going to the Marana Pumpkin Patch. Another thing that Marana has, and it's kind of between the Tangerine exit but closer to the Marana exit, is there's some rodeo grounds. So you can, they put on rodeos all the time. A lot of those people out there, like I said, have ranches and stuff, especially on the outskirts of Marana. A lot of those people have horses, so there are rodeos that get put on there. It's right along the freeway, and sometimes that's fun to watch. You know, you'll see people out there on their horses and with their horse trailers, and it's real busy, and they'll be out there doing their rodeo thing. So that's kind of fun. There's a lot of, you know, especially on the outskirts of Marana, there's a lot of, you know, mini ranches and a lot of horses and things like that. So if that's your thing, that's definitely something to consider as well. Another thing they have out there in Marana, there is a Marana Garden, which is at the Heritage Park, which is really pretty neat. If you're a family, you can sign up for a garden there. I think they have, it's one garden per family, and I think they have 40 different raised gardens and I think 70 lower gardens. But you can garden one per family, like I said, one per household, but they'll let you plant whatever you want to grow in there, vegetables or flowers or whatever it is you want to grow, and then they automatically water it 3 times a day. So it gets water, and then you come and harvest your garden. But it really does shape a sense of community. So that's a cool little thing they have out there at the Heritage. Marana puts on a huge 4th of July spectacular. It's free to go to. It's out there behind the Harkins Theater in Marana, and you can park for free. They have everything's free. I mean, the food's not free, but the fireworks are free, and you can go out there and park and watch the fireworks. They have all sorts of entertainment going on. They put on a really nice fireworks display in this community. As far as businesses in Marana, they have Sargent, which is an aerospace place. They have Roche Tissue Diagnostics. They have, you know, an Amazon delivery facility out there that's just huge. There's lots of other businesses as well, but those are some of the really big ones that are big out there. There's Harley Davidson has a shop out there. Coca-Cola has like a main office in Marana. Marana also has a Christmas tree lighting where everybody comes and they do a big Christmas tree lighting where they have a giant Christmas tree, and that's pretty neat too for Marana. They definitely have a sense of community. And then they also have that aquatic center that they've opened up that has not only swimming pools and splash pads and then a huge kids pool as well with a couple of water slides, but they have indoor basketball, a couple of indoor basketball courts, indoor track, and all that is so nice because there's an indoor gym as well. There's not a lot of free weights, but there's a lot of equipment. A couple of indoor pickleball courts. And this is just really nice because it's so hot in the summertime. It gives people a place to go and still be active. So now I want to go over some different areas and neighborhoods in Marana and what they're by. So we're going to go over that. I'm going to take you inside my map and kind of show you around. Continental Ranch and Continental Reserve are located off of Cortero Road. So there's the Cortero and I-10 exit. So that's where the Continental Ranch, and it goes all the way kind of over there to Twin Peaks, where there's also Saguaro Bloom, which is a new neighborhood where they're still building out there. Lots of new homes, pretty views, lots of saguaros, real rocky out there as well. There's swimming pools, parks, just a nice sense of community there too. So when you're near Cortero, the I-10 exit in Cortero, and you're near Continental Ranch and Continental Reserve and those homes over there, there's all sorts of shopping right there at Cortero and I-10. I mean, they have everything. It's called the Arizona Pavilions, and they have everything from huge Harkins movie theaters to the Super Walmart, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Ross, Texas Roadhouse, Chili's, Cracker Barrel. There's several hotels that are right there as well. Lots of grocery stores. There's a Fry's grocery store. There's a Safeway grocery store. Lots of gas stations. Lots of little restaurants and eating places. You know, everything you could need. Nail salons, hair salons, all that stuff is right there at that Cortero and I-10. When you get to Twin Peaks and I-10, and this is when you're, you can go over to the Sunflower or Continental Ranch area, or you can go the other way and go to the Dove Mountain area. But when you're on Twin Peaks and I-10, what's located there is the premium outlet malls, as well as there's a car dealership there. There's a hotel there, there's an urgent care, there's some apartments, a lot of little things right there, gas stations. That's not as big as a restaurant area, but definitely it's a great mall to go shopping. If you need clothes, they have everything, you know, Old Navy, Saks Fifth Avenue, Express, Carter's Children's Store. It's a really big outlet mall, really nice outlet mall, definitely worth going to if you live, you know, even in Oro Valley or Marana. That's a great mall to shop at. First one I'm going to talk about is Continental Ranch. Continental Ranch has about 4,000 homes in it. It's an older neighborhood, but really nice sense of community. They have a community swimming pool, they have tennis courts, they have lots of parks and trees in there. Really nice area. And there's also Continental Reserve out there that has about 12,000 homes. It's a little bit of a newer development, and it's built within some rocky saguaro studded areas, so some of those houses have some really pretty spectacular views. There's also an area called Sunflower that's kind of off Twin Peaks, and that's a 55 and plus community. It's a smaller community. There's not a golf course, but they do have you know, an activity center where they all get together and all sorts of things in there, arts and crafts and bocce ball and all sorts of other things. There's a lot of activities for people to hang out and make friends and just be in there in the Sunflower community. Really nice area. It's kind of older, but it's well kept. They've really kept it up nicely. Now there's an area off of Twin Peaks that has a whole lot of new build homes. This is a really nice area, and Twin Peaks is a straight shot to get to the I-10 freeway. Now, as I mentioned before, Marana is located on the east and the west side of the I-10 freeway, so it's kind of almost split down the middle. The Twin Peaks with Continental Ranch and Continental Reserve and Sunflower and Saguaro Bloom, that would be off to the west side of the I-10 freeway. If you go off to the right, there's a lot of new build homes out there. Really nice drive on that Twin Peaks. It takes you all the way up to Tangerine Road, and then when you pass Tangerine Road, it goes into Dove Mountain, which is also Marana. That's where the Ritz-Carlton is. They're still building homes up there, lots and lots of family homes there. There's two 55 and older communities. There's a Del Webb community in there that has their own, you know, club with a really nice swimming pool and just some nice, you know, you can meet other people, and they have game rooms and stuff like that there. There's also the Heritage Highlands, which is bigger. Del Webb is about 600 and something homes. The Heritage Highlands is up there. It's 55 plus, and it has about 1,200 homes, and it has a golf course that runs through it. Really nice golf course. Beautiful restaurant up there with amazing views. They have all sorts of activities and a swimming pool and everything there as well. Like I said, it's about twice the size of the Del Webb. Now, even though I'm talking about these 55 and plus communities, there's more family homes up there than there are 55 plus communities. I don't mean in Heritage Highlands, I mean in Dove Mountain. Dove Mountain is just a really nice area. Like I said, there's the Gallery up there, which is kind of close to the Ritz-Carlton, and it's a private club, and there's golfing there as well. You can join the different clubs, the Ritz-Carlton, the Gallery, and the Heritage Highlands. So there's 3 different golf courses up there. The homes, a lot of them are built along the golf courses. Now, this Dove Mountain area is actually up in the Tortolita Mountains, so you kind of drive uphill a little bit. It's not steep mountains. I mean, you can't ski or anything like that, snow ski or anything, but it is a little bit more elevated, and they've reserved a lot of natural land in there. So a lot of the houses just have views of, you know, cactus and mountains, and or maybe the golf course if you have a golf course view. But really nice part of Marana that I like a lot. And it also borders Oro Valley. So if you're thinking you like Oro Valley, Dove Mountain is a really nice part of Marana, and it's almost perfectly equal whether you do your shopping in Oro Valley or whether you do your shopping in Marana. So it's just a really nice location, definitely worth checking out. So another exit, now we're starting to get a little bit more rural, but this is a growing area, is an area off I-10 and Tangerine Road called Gladden Farms. Now Gladden Farms has about 3,000 homes currently. They just, you know, it's been growing out there, I would say, for about 20 years, and they're still building brand new homes out there. There's still a lot of room left to build out there. It used to be old farmland, and now it's homes everywhere. And they're starting to get more and more out there. They just got their first Fry's Superstore, which is owned by Kroger. Superstore means they have clothing, they have furniture, and they have food, like, you know, it's a full-on big grocery store. In fact, I believe this Fry's is the biggest one in all of Tucson, and they really needed it out there in Gladden Farms. Now, there's not a lot of other stuff out there. There is, I mean, they just built a car wash, they just built a Starbucks, they're building an Ace Hardware. And that roast tissue diagnostics that I was talking about, that is located right there as well. There's like an O'Reilly Auto Parts and a couple of gas stations, but truly there's not a lot of shopping out there. Groceries, yes, and whatever you can get at that Fry's. But if you want to go to Home Goods, TJ Maxx, all that stuff, it's about 15 minutes on the freeway to get to that Cortero exit till you hit all that shopping, and about 10 minutes till you get to the premium outlet from Gladden Farms. So although it's the outskirts of town, the houses are a little bit less money and you get a lot for your money out there because it's still considered to be a little bit rural, but I'm telling you, it's growing like crazy. Now, if you go down to the very next exit, that's the Marana exit. Now you're starting to leave Tucson. That's like one of the last exits before you're leaving and going towards Phoenix. So when you get out to the Marana exit, there is a big subdivision there called San Lucas. I think they have about 500 or 600 homes in San Lucas. I know they've just approved 700 more homes to be built, not in San Lucas, but north and northeast of San Lucas. So there's more homes coming there. But the grocery store they would shop at is that one in Gladden Farms, which is I'm gonna say a good 10 to 12 minutes away from San Lucas. So that's even a more rural area. And again, they're building out there. I see homes going up like crazy. In fact, the Marana exit and the Tangerine exit are closing in. You know, they're building houses and closing in. So that's all gonna be filled in at some point. But right now, it's still considered a little bit rural. That exit right on Marana has exploded with fast food restaurants. In the last 2 or 3 years, I can't believe all the things that they've gotten. They've always had like a little pizza place out there, the R&R pizza place, and they've had a McDonald's out there for a long time. And there's a Main Street market. So if you do live in San Lucas or out there in one of those homes that are being built out there, there's a Main Street market so you can grab milk, bread, chips. They even have a little meat counter where you can grab some hamburger or some steaks, but it is a small market called the Main Street Market out there in Marana. There's a Triple L feed store, so if you have animals, there are some ranches and farms. Once you get out to the Marana exit, you're gonna see a lot more farming and ranching. That's still a lot of farmland out there, but like I said, it's growing towards Tucson from that Marana exit. And that's what they call downtown Marana. Even though it's out really far and kind of rural, it's not gonna be rural for long. So I'm telling you about it because it is a good buy. I feel like it's a good buy right now if you buy houses out there or in Gladden Farms. Both of those areas are just growing like crazy, and I feel like you can get a lot for your money. But there's not a whole lot of amenities out there. That being said, off this Marana exit, kind of between Gladden Farms and the Marana exit, this is where they built that aquatic center that has all that nice stuff, and I think it's because they're predicting a whole lot of people out there. And I've seen their plans. They've got it all cleared and graded and ready. They're adding shopping and restaurants. They're not there yet, but they're definitely coming. Like I said, the Marana exit, I didn't finish saying all the fast food places that they got there. It seems like just a whole lot. They have Panda Express. They just finished Dunkin' Donuts in 31 flavors. They have a Taco Bell that was recently built. They have Dairy Queen is almost done. They have a Jack in the Box that they built. So it's just, they have a whole lot of fast food restaurants. I think they're expecting a lot of people out there. There's also a Bisbee, and it's good. I've been there a couple of times, and I actually did a little stop in on one of my other videos. I stopped in there and got something to eat, and it is really good food, and it's a little sit down restaurant that's very nice. And if you're out in Marana, that's a great place to check out. So like I said, still the Marana exit has a lot of farmland out there, and it's definitely growing. There's a lot of ranches and that kind of stuff out there. So I think I've covered a lot of Marana, just trying to give you a feel for what it's like out there. But there is a strong sense of community, and they're doing a really nice job with the way they're growing. They're just growing really, really well. So they've planned things out, and they have meetings, and they ask for the community's input of how things are going. So it's definitely a nice place, and I think it's just getting nicer with time. It's growing very nicely. You know, Tucson blends right into Marana. You don't see where one ends and the other begins. And in that area right there, you know, in the older part of Marana, right along the freeway, there's Costco, there's Sportsman's Warehouse, there's, you know, Sprouts, which is kind of like a Whole Foods, there's Michael's, it's very, very busy. Like I said, there's everything. Chick-fil-A, every normal thing, you know, Target, all that stuff is right there, kind of between Orange Grove and Ina. And then that's kind of where Marana begins, right in that area, and then it starts going north. and then it spreads out on both sides of the I-10 freeway. So there's lots of shopping, there's a Topgolf, all that stuff there. And then as you go along, it just kind of spreads out. I'm trying to cover kind of what shopping is nearby, what areas. So I hope you can follow that with this video and with some of these areas I'm trying to show you on the map, so you can get a feel just what Marana's like. I've heard a lot of good things about this Nana's Kitchen here in Marana. It's locally owned, and I've never eaten here, so today we're gonna try it. Okay, I'm trying this mango margarita here. Pretty good. I'm gonna give you a little peek of the JW Marriott right now. Enjoy. Thanks again for watching this video all about Marana, Arizona. If you'd like to know more about Tucson or Marana or any of the areas, you're going to want to subscribe. I have new videos out every week and you're not going to want to miss it. Until next time, I hope to see you around town. Bye-bye now.